Hello again, everyone on the interwebs. Welcome to the 10th episode of the Beardy Boys. So,
Give it a
uh,
10. A
uh,
10.
uh-oh. I, oh God, I don't know what to say. My script isn't here. Oh my God, I forgot there's a
Oh,
writer's strike.
oh.
That's my
Is
first
that your
topic of the,
topic?
that's my first
The
topic of
writer
the day.
strike?
But yeah, before we begin, we just want to let everyone know, hey, thank y'all very much for tuning in with us throughout these 10
Thank you.
episodes. I know that episode 9, I still haven't released episode 9. I'm actually releasing it later today. So
Oh,
I'm going to try and
nice.
get back on releasing the episodes on a quicker pace. So, it doesn't feel like, we're taking for hell and ever to get to these. But life's complicated, y'all.
It
And,
is.
and
Yeah.
unfortunately, given everything that we've got going on, I mean, it's just difficult to keep track of everything.
We're
But
working.
yeah, we and
And
it's not
jerking.
and hey man, sometimes it's the
Have
only
to
thing that
be.
keeps people sane. So yeah, the whole deal that I wanted to bring up was the Writers Guild of America, and they're on
Merc.
strike once again. And
Mm,
Okay.
and here's the thing, I am of course always about fair pay, fair treatment and everything and this and that and blah blah
of
blah.
course.
And this to me is a signifier of just like how bad. Well, if you ask me, given the state of television right now and how bad it is, why are you even bothering to pay these fuckers in the first place? I'm just being honest. I mean, because let's be honest. I look at some TV shows and I'm just like, someone got paid to write this? Someone was paid money, big money, to write this.
Velma.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
there's great
The new
shit,
Cleopatra
though.
show. The new Cleopatra show. Yeah, that one.
There's great stuff out there that's coming out, too. But it really shines because you get finished watching it and then you're like, what else?
Yeah,
There's all of this shit out
there's a
there,
sea of
but like
shit.
everything good is a diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
Like there on Netflix, Beef was a good show.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it pretty well. And
Um.
then on HBO, there's this show called Someone Somewhere that just had a second season release, and it's it's not really my cup of tea, but the character development and the acting involved in that show is just like really fucking good.
Um.
You rarely
Vox
see that.
Machina.
Vox Machina. Well, I take that for what it is. You know, D&D is a character development game
It
or they
is.
die, So and it's friends doing it. So that wasn't like a script writer per se as much as it was an organic thing that happened. And I think that that's what's missing. All of these shows, they don't give you the ability to perceive for yourself. They like force your face and your mind into this fucking
They
direction, and
they
they're
want
like,
you to have
"Look,
tunnel vision.
this," and it's like there's no room. These characters don't breathe. It's plot point, plot
They're
point, plot
they're very
point.
one dimensional. A lot of characters are very
Yeah,
one dimensional. There's no depth to them whatsoever.
none. You're never surprised by these characters.
No.
And we're all full of surprises. There's tons of times you surprise me. I'm surprised by a lot of the shit that I learn about Rick and learn from Rick. You've taught me a lot of things. So when you're trying to write a character, and you're a script writer, it's like you want to grow this character in front of the audience
Oh,
and let them
absolutely.
find out what they think about what's going on without being like, "Hey, don't miss this." It's
Yeah.
like let us come to that conclusion on
It,
our own.
forcing expo. Here's the thing. I hate forcing exposition. I
Yeah.
do. I look at like clues within stuff that people can figure out for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't try and spoon feed people, but at the same time, I don't try and be like a smart mark and try and be like, oh, only smart people who know what's going on can truly
Mm-hmm.
understand the depth and the brevity of this story. It's like, dude, I don't want to be I like that would make me a pretentious dick. And there's
Yeah.
way too many people like that in the system right now. And I don't know. For me, whenever I see the writers and everything like that, I see shows that for the most part don't really need a writer, instead things just happen organically. And I'm not talking about reality shows, to hell with
Hmm.
reality shows, but with
Yep.
stuff that, you know, the writers, like, for instance, some of the most popular characters throughout history of television, like, for instance, Michael J. Fox, I talk about him. Alex Keaton on Family Ties was only supposed to be like, he was supposed to be like a character that was supposed to be secondary, and it was
Mm.
like the parents were supposed to be the main focus of the show. But
Yeah.
then, because of Michael J. Fox and his like organic, like just like chemistry that he had as Alex Keaton, basically he became the center of the show. And
Steve Urkel.
Steve Urkel, same thing. Family Matters was about, Family Matters. And then it became the Steve Urkel show. And I hate to say it, but writers a lot of the times, like, sometimes I love when writers take risks, like Nick Pizzolatto with the True Detective series. Every
Uh,
season's an anthology, and I love that.
hmm.
And it's a different story. But
Sometimes it hits, sometimes it misses.
first season hit, second
Oh,
season miss, third.
Grand Slam first season.
Oh, first season's. I told Rick about it. He hasn't seen it.
Oh,
Arguably the
dude.
best season of television I've ever seen. In terms
Arguably for
of,
me as well.
yeah, it's up there. Um,
Interesting.
but
Way
yeah,
up there.
and then of course, a lot of that happened was because McConaughey and Woody Harrelson basically just dove into these roles, and a lot of their stuff was improv back and forth between them.
They had incredible chemistry in
Oh
that
yes,
show.
oh yes, and they
Very
killed it.
believable characters. It's one of those times where it's like you have these two iconic actors who you forget who they are in those characters. That's
Yeah,
why they're so fucking good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And all the other actors and actresses that participated in that as well. I mean, and
Yeah.
I mean, and you see, that's when getting into filmmaking, I didn't expect it to. The writing's one thing, but I didn't expect all the pieces coming together would be so complex to the point of where you sort of have to think in a fourth dimensional way of just
Mm,
like, because you're trying to plan out what everyone else is doing, but then it's
yes.
just like you don't really know how they're going to fully approach things until you're there with them, and you can like shadow them
Right.
and see like what their process is, so that you can at least attempt to understand what they're about. And what I do is I try to make it as accommodating for everyone as possible. Whenever someone shows up on set, I'm just like, okay, let's make it easier. And I also, like, I want to pay people for their work. I want to pay people for their main thing, because that's what this has always been about. It's always been about fair play, fair pay, and all that.
Hmm.
And I've always been in support of that. But in my opinion, if you're a writer on a show like the new Cleopatra show, which,
I don't
oh
know shit
god,
about it. I don't
it,
know anything about it.
it's produced and narrated by Jada Pinkett Smith,
Okay.
and
Red flags.
it's basically all about how Cleopatra was black and this and that. It's like, how many times do people have to point out in historical, like, just all the historical evidence? Cleopatra was Greek. She was Greek. She was she was part Greek, part Egyptian, and
Hmm.
they
I
actually
think it was like
traced her
a
family line.
Maladonian, something like that.
Yeah, Macedonia. Yeah, part Macedonian. Yeah, and her family tree, it extended all the way there. Like, it's from all over the place, and it's just like everyone that talks, it's like, these people don't know what they're talking about, and it's just like they want to shape history the way they want it to be instead of what it actually is. And like, when does it go too far? When does it go too far to the
If
point?
she would have portrayed it as a fictional, maybe type of film, then
Yeah,
yeah, give you benefit of the doubt past it. But she wants to make it a documentary,
yeah,
and it's like
documentary,
that's when you're
historical,
like, that is when you kind of take things to the left. And she's portraying everybody, pharaohs to the servants to the people, everybody, like even the commoners, everybody in that movie are all Africans. And it's like,
I was
no,
like,
yes, Egypt is in Africa. Yes, it's in the continent of Africa.
Were there
But
Jewish slaves?
yes.
There were?
But according to them, Jewish people were all black as well.
The
No,
whole
that's
entire.
why I was asking like if the slaves in the show were Jewish.
Oh no, they were black
But
Yeah.
wait a
Jewish.
minute. But wait a minute. That's what the black Israelites say.
Well, okay. You see,
So
here's the
did they have the black Israelites as slaves? Is that what was happening?
true authenticity right there. All of a sudden,
I'm
you just see him out in the field getting whipped, just like, that's right, that's right.
Oh my God.
I'm
First
sorry.
off,
I'm sorry.
First off, you already know that you can't be talking about the black Israelites like that around me because
Future
I
member right
won't
here,
stand.
ladies and gentlemen.
I won't
Future
stand for
member.
that. I'm an ally of the highest order, and I don't stand for that kind of
So
talk about the black Israelites.
the whole interpretation. I know that you and I both had the discussion about the 12 tribes of Israel and everything like that. I don't think it's really meant as though like one specific group of people can really call themselves
Hmm.
Israelites or Jews. It's literally meaning that anyone who prescribes to the Jewish faith from anywhere all over the world is basically like capable of for instance, you look at Adam Sandler,
Hmm.
yeah, and then you look at Sammy Davis Jr. or
Hmm.
you look at what's his name? Damn it. You look at uh, you look at Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson's Jewish, and it's like anyone can be Jewish. That's the whole point of the 12 tribes. Is that the 12 tribes came from all over the world and from these different areas, and all came to the understanding that they all followed the same God. That's what it was. That's what it was meant to be. But instead, everyone wants to make it about race, wants to make it about skin
Ethnicity and
color.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like
Uh,
why? That's not the point. The point is you come together and you accomplish great things, as a people. And it
I just want to see a world where we all come together.
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
We could
moment
all
we're
just
so
get in a circle and do the Dutch rudder and just come
yeah,
together.
absolutely. Double Dutch rudder. You
Yeah.
know,
yeah.
just
Then
like
we could
has
all be living in our goon caves, not angry,
there
just
you go.
showing love.
Yeah,
Showing love.
I'm on my goon cave setup right here. 3 screens. It's just they're not in use
Yeah,
right now.
Yep.
that's right.
That's
But
right.
but basically what you were saying, Nate, is just like the whole writing thing, and now and like for shows, everything is kind of like an agenda. Before it was like an
That's
actual
all it is.
story being made. Now
What?
everybody has something. They have a message they want to like
Well,
send
it
out.
was it. Now, don't get me wrong. There were agendas in certain shows back in the day too,
All
but
the
they
time.
never
Yeah.
sacrificed the story for the agenda.
For
That's
the
always the
exactly
point. They never
this
sacrificed the story for the agenda.
because what's the point, dude? It's like if you you see a big message written in sand, you're like, oh, that's cute. But if you took dog shit and spelled out peace and love, people would be like, that's
Oh,
fucking
that
dog shit,
stinks,
though.
dude.
You would be more concentrated on the fact that they tried to say peace and love by spelling it out in dog shit than you would by the message. And that's what's happened. The
Yeah,
dog shit overwhelms the message every
it's just.
time.
I was like, all of a sudden, it's like, oh god, that stinks. It's like, are you
I
saying
don't
peace and love? Are you saying
necessarily,
peace and love stinks? It's like
I
the
don't,
fact it's
I,
written in dog shit. Yeah, it does stink.
yes. Like I don't necessarily disagree with a lot of the empowerment for women and minorities. I don't disagree with that. I think it's great to empower people. But when your methods of doing so are just like blatant tokenization and shit tier scripts and things like that, then I'm just like, dude, you're making the
Velma.
message you're trying to deliver look
Oh yeah,
stupid, you know?
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
Velma, and like with the Cleopatra. If Jada would have said, "Hey, I feel like people of my skin tone or people of my background are not getting much film recognition, or they're not getting that other,
historical credit or whatever,
or
yeah.
either historical credit, or we haven't had a all black movie for a long while. So I want to do a historical rendition of Egyptian times of Cleopatra with all black cast. But this is not to say this is historically accurate. I just want to give black actors a chance to basically prevail. Then that's when I'm like, you know what? I could get it. I could get behind it. If you're saying you just want to give black actors a chance, just to give
Mhm.
them a movie, all black cast, all black producer, all like, if you want to do that kind of message, I could get it. I could get behind it. But if you're like, oh, we're gonna have an all black cast, And this is historically accurate. Girl.
Hate to say
Chill.
it. I hate
Chill.
to say it, but nah. Incorrect.
I just don't really give a fuck about Cleopatra. That's where I stand on it. Like, so I
Uh,
don't really care what they do
well,
with it. Like,
In terms of a historical aspect,
I don't fucking care.
Cleopatra has a lot of like historical connotations in terms of the fate of Egypt and everything like that.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she's considered the last true great ruler of Egypt, and it's like fair point. But again, there's so many other great leaders that we don't have movies about that we need to have movies about or better representations about. I mean, for instance, I want a proper Genghis Khan movie. God damn it!
No, dude, Jack Churchill. Mad Jack Churchill needs a real fucking movie.
Fair enough. Oh, and also John Paul Jones, the
Mm-hmm.
sailor who basically like raided British British merchant ships and
Oh,
everything
yeah.
like that during the Revolutionary War. Well, like just mad dogging it, dude. Just like holy fuck, like crazy bastard.
That's what I
Hell
want a
yeah.
movie on. Mansa Musa.
Oh,
That is
yes, I love
richest
a
man
Mansa
in
Musa.
history. Richest man in history.
Yeah,
He was an African king
yeah.
that basically
From the region
shattered
where
the-
Ghana is.
Yeah.
Didn't he go around
shattered-
flexing on everybody too?
Yeah.
Didn't he just go?
He broke
flex around
every
the world?
economy he touched, dude. That's how rich he was. When you
He
are
was like,
so
"Here-
rich,
Here's pounds of golds just for your wheat.
Yeah.
Here's like tons of this just for a sheep."
yeah.
So he was
broke
like
the
ancient Mr.
economy.
Beast.
except none of it went to charity.
Oh, he was just turning up.
Oh, he was slinging. That's all he was doing. He was slinging his big golden dick. That's all he was doing.
Nice, dude. Respect.
Exactly.
I want that movie.
I do
Put some
too.
respect on his name.
I do too.
Yep.
I'd love the Mansa Musa movie. Yeah, like shoot it in Ghana. Like give the country of Ghana like a boost in their economy, and also just like let it be, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really like we got a little sidetracked with like just the various stories we'd like told. But honestly, hey, Writers Guilds of America, get on writing that shit, and
Come on.
put some fucking effort into it.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I was gonna say who want next on the topic?
Have Chad go next. I know
Chadwick,
he might
okay.
be limited on time.
All right, Chad.
Mine's a very light topic, which I think would be very funny to discuss. Evidently, earlier, let's see, was this last week? They're not giving me a solid timeline here, but a guy in Colorado tried to avoid getting a DUI by putting his dog in the driver's
driver's
seat
seat.
after he got pulled over and sat in the passenger seat.
That's awesome.
And I just want to get the perspective, okay? If you guys had to be police officers, okay, and you pull a guy over and you walk up to the car and you're greeted by a Jack Russell Terrier, I mean, how are you going to serve justice?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it.
Off to
It's-
the pound you go.
Okay, I'll say this.
And
I'll say
also,
this.
what do you say to the guy? What do you say? I would just be so taken aback. I just would be at a loss. I don't know
Yeah.
how
So-
I would deal with it.
so-
A golden retriever was driving the car, officer. It wasn't me.
So that one, I don't know. I would say that one's pretty good, but I'd also say the Gabriel Iglesias one of just like if you're drunk and like you don't want to get a ticket, like hop over in the passenger seat real quick and
Yeah.
just like pretend like you're passed out. And when they knock on the window, be like, "Hey, officer, where'd he go?
Yeah, it was somebody else.
What? Me drive?
You didn't see him run back.
What, I was
Yeah.
see me drive? Oh hell no, I'm fucked up." Like that's
Yeah.
and
That's
that's
actually pretty smart.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
what do you do? And in the other scenario, what do you do as the guy sitting there? Once you've made this plan, you've put your dog in the driver's seat, and the cop shows up. What's your move?
be like,
Like, what's the next move? Like, this
Yeah, my
guy
German
did not
Shepherd
think
was
this
driving.
through at all.
it's like my dog said he wanted to drive, so I let him have the keys. He said he hadn't been drinking, but when we got pulled over, I gotta be honest, I think he's talking out of his ass.
Said whenever the man got out of the car, he claimed he was not the one driving.
Was it a Tesla? Was he driving?
He was just hammered. No, this wasn't a Tesla. But
Hold
yeah,
on. I don't know. I mean,
the
the move
deputies.
that
Oh, the dog was given an acquaintance. Let's see, given to an acquaintance of the driver while the party was in jail. Deputies say the dog does not face any charges and just let go without a warrant or without a warning. It's like this whole scenario to me is just fucking hilarious.
Give that cop a raise.
Yeah, dude.
yeah,
You know that they had
definitely.
to have just been like, bruh, does this shit really happen? Like, what the fuck?
Bruh, come on now. Come on.
Yeah. So
For
that was
real.
it for my topic.
That's still a pretty good one. I gotta be honest.
Damn it.
What about you? What about you, Ricardo?
Because mine is a little bit of a topic discussing, not disgusting, just discussing some stuff. Almost to your point, Nate, but for me, it's about Florida, about my
Oh, no.
people.
Oh no.
So there's a bill that just passed. Called, I forget the name of it, but I think the number is 1718. Basically,
1718.
all immigrants are illegal to live in Florida. So if you're undocumented, even if you're DACA, you cannot live in Florida.
What?
By July
Damn.
1st, if you are undocumented and if you are a business that has more than 25 people and you have any persons that's undocumented, looking at $10,000 per person for a fine.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
They said, fuck building the wall. We're going to build legislation.
So basically, I believe Florida, the undocumented, they had a community of actually undocumented people, which was fine. Like, no one ever had a
Wow.
problem with them. And I think Florida had a total of 600,000 undocumented workers. And ever since that bill was signed, 90% of them just dipped.
Damn.
They all left the state.
Would
So
you
they lost.
say? I wouldn't. If I were
So-
them, I'd be out too. Fuck.
And even if you're even if you had DACA status, like you became an actual citizen, green card and everything, but let's say that you live with your parents. Let's say your parents came in here,
Right.
quote unquote,
Yeah.
illegally, had
Yeah.
you here, you become you actually become legal,
Yeah.
and or you become a DACA, you go through do the whole paperwork, and you are harboring or even driving with somebody that is illegal, they revoke your status, and you get deported.
Look, here's
And
my.
even if you're visiting out, so even if you're, let's say that you're an undocumented person in either California or Georgia or whatever, or even if you're people from different countries just visiting family, if they catch you basically traveling with them, even if they're on there for a vacation, like if they're even like the people who are allowed, like quote unquote, like Poland, whatever, looking at 10 years in prison.
Okay.
That sounds crazy as fuck, bro.
There's shit
There's
that
no
needs,
way.
There's shit that just needs to just okay. First off, lawmakers in this country need to just make the point of becoming an American citizen or becoming an American national. You know, the point where you don't have to get citizen. It's basically what the Samoans have. The Samoans have where they are automatically American nationals. And you know, you can file for, like, if you want to, you can file to become an American citizen, and it's a little bit easier for you to become an American citizen than it is for, like, you know, if you're like just came straight across, you know, fresh off the boat.
Yeah, it's like
But
Puerto Rico and Guam.
yeah, same deal.
Yeah.
And you see, what needs to happen is there needs to be, you know, for points of entry into this country. I know it's not going to be like Ellis Island and, you know, like it was back in when, you know, it was open borders and everything.
Well,
like
hopefully
that.
not, because Ellis Island wasn't the best. Was, you know, they were fucking up a little bit. They were doing
Quite a
that.
bit,
But,
quite a bit, yeah. But needless to say, what I'm getting at is these lawmakers, they have the ability to change the laws to make it to where it can be like the process of becoming an American citizen, or, you know, make it to where, you know, you can be like a more permanent resident here in the U.S. That it's easier to do that, but they don't do it. I and especially,
But
I
then
don't get
bitch
it.
about it too. They
Exactly.
bitch and then like don't ever fucking do anything.
Exactly, because they it's like they don't want things to change. It's
Yep.
like they want to keep the status quo the exact same because it just means like kick the bucket down to the next generation. It's like kick the can down the road for the next person to deal with. And
Yeah.
I don't get that. I don't get why it is such a it. I
Because
kind
they
of do
stay
get it.
paid anyway, dude. They stay
Yeah.
paid anyway.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's not the biggest issue for people that are paying them, so they don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
Who
No,
cares?
right? But the
They don't
bill, I
care.
think, the bill passed. Well, it doesn't go into effect until July 1st.
Okay.
That bill passed about like a week and a half ago. But even so, you have situations like this where you have crops of rotten tomatoes already. And you go down, houses that was being built, no one's there to build
Gone.
them. Everything was ceased. All the workers who were building it are gone. And then even
It's
like,
it's almost like there's a benefit to having people here that are, let's be honest, they're here to work and they're here to live, and there's more opportunity here than there is. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. I mean,
done.
DeSantos is just doing more and more to prove that he's not as smart as we thought he was at any point. I mean, like they highlighted this guy's wins during one of the most crazy times ever, but didn't really show you all the dirt. And now he's just showing everybody the dirt. He's the dumbest guy that has had the best team to wipe his ass for the longest time, and then they just couldn't do it anymore because he started looking at like the wrong voter base to try and appease to strengthen his ability to run for president.
Like like him challenging cannabis legalization is just like look, more than okay, this isn't, it's not the 1980s anymore. More than 60% of Republicans believe that cannabis should be legalized now. Republicans. This
Yeah.
isn't Democrats. Democrats it's basically almost like 90%. But Republicans it's like over 60% want it to be legal. It's like, so why are you appealing to the fringe of the people who don't want it to be legal?
I just hate politicians so much in general. Like they're all fucking idiots. It's like whoever gives them money or whoever they think is going to put them into a position of power, that's what they care about. They don't really give a shit what happens to anybody.
This is
like
true.
for me, like I don't care about your background. Like I don't care you're a Republican or Democrat, whatever. But it's like
Same.
seeing what DeSantis is doing, the people who is like basically targeting all at once, like all the same time. Not only is he doing this for immigration workers and targeting more for obviously the Hispanic background, and how it is even like with that same bill, every single time you go to a hospital, they have to ask for your immigration status. So you can't go to the hospital without giving status of your immigration.
Boy, that's really Christian. That's a very Christian way to
And they have the rights for like a stop and frisk how New York was.
be.
They have the right to stop and ask if you are legal
See,
or not.
but why do these people think that they have the power to do shit like this when it's blatantly unconstitutional? Like
Well,
the Supreme Court has already spoken on a lot of this shit. Like, how do you think that
it's
that's
already
going to fly?
passed.
It
It's
can
already
pass
passed.
into that's fine. It can pass into law in the state until civil rights lawyers go, nope, we're taking this
true.
shit to court. And then they slap the shit out of it because it's blatantly and brazenly unconstitutional to do shit like
It is.
that. It's an overreach of power, and you just can't fucking do that shit.
No.
So not
no.
only he's doing this towards immigrants, he's also targeting obviously the LGBT, and then he's also trying to do a big battle with Disney.
He's trying to win the worst of the Trump supporters. For some reason, he's trying to win the worst of the Trump supporters. He wants a cult-like following by fucking bigots, okay? And there's just not enough of them. Contrary to what people think, most people are good. Most people have good in their heart.
Most
and
people
there's
want to
only,
mind their own business and just live their lives.
yeah, they're only so far they'll go with that bullshit. Sorry to say to all the people that think that that's the gravy train, but people are sick of that shit, man. We just want to live our fucking lives.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick
Yeah.
of. I'm sick of just. I'm sick of people. Everyone looking at the American South as though like every white person that lives down here is just wanting to just string up the nearest like minority or LGBT. It's like I hear people from Seattle talk about this shit and they're just like, I'm afraid to go to like more rural areas because where I'm a LGBTQ, like they're gonna wind up lynching me and do this and do
Probably
that.
not. Yeah.
And it's like
Probably fucking not.
I was like, look, I'm not going to say like the chances of something bad happening to you are never zero, never. The chances
Some of the largest bases of like the most violent extremists on the right are posted up in fucking Portland, dude.
yeah.
I mean, it's way far from us. You know,
Yeah.
if the Klan marches in the streets out here, there is going to be a bigger force of people telling them to go fuck off than there are joining them.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens every time they do this shit. Every time they come out and are like trying to march down the street, there's a group of people protesting them being there that's way bigger than the people in those fucking hoods.
Yeah.
Every
well,
time.
it's just like the people talk about the the Unite the Right thing in Richmond. You know, they point at that as just like, oh, look at all this here. It was literally like 120 dudes.
Yeah, and
Like,
everybody thought they were fucking idiots.
Yeah. Like there was not a single person in the sane mind there looking
Well,
at
they
being
were
like,
really good on both sides with the propaganda surrounding that. The
Yeah.
right looked at it as a show of force and like, look at us, we're out here proud, and there's a bunch of us, and they made that look like it was a thing. And then the left took it and made it look like there was an invading army of fucking "my dad will sue you" types out there, and it's just like it was a small number of people doing really bad shit. You know,
Yeah.
and they got all of them got their fucking character. They did it to themselves, but when they found out who all those people were, their lives were ruined, dude.
Completely.
Those people ruined themselves because nobody wants that shit, man. Nobody. And the sad truth is that the left wing media wants that to be true, and
Yeah.
so does the right wing media.
because it gives them ratings. That's it.
And it caused somebody to die. Somebody died over that shit.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you even seen somebody got exposed on CNN that when they did the whole interview with Trump,
Yeah.
that they said just have fun, just say what you want to say. It was just for ratings. They didn't care what the person had to say or the interview or
No.
it was
Yeah.
supposed to be like a debate or whatever. The
Well,
person
fuck the
behind
divisive
CNN
nature.
was like, "Oh, just have fun."
I still say we just need to get on our love circle, Dutch rudder around the big love circle, and all come
exactly.
together.
Chad's got that. Chad's got that next level thinking, y'all.
Just
How do you
have
think I
a
got this light in my beard?
300 million circle of just tip touching.
Yep.
Just cranking, just hog cranking. There you
Even
go.
if it has to be a metaphorical tip, it's all
Yes.
good.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get all 360 million U.S. citizens.
Wait a minute, time out. Except for the kids
There you go.
Yeah.
and
Well
those
done.
who don't consent.
True.
There you
true.
go.
True. So,
But,
however
yeah.
many amount.
right.
All the 18 plus consensual adults.
Variables. Yeah, there
Yes.
you go.
Yes.
But I'm going to have to be out on that one, homies.
Yeah. We'll end it here, y'all. So, I guess for now, that was another short one here with us, and hopefully we'll get more of in a flow of this, where we can do about a good solid 45 minutes to an hour. We'll see.
Yeah.
But still, hey, we have fun with this, and I hope y'all had fun with this. So until next time, y'all, I'm Nate,
I'm Rick.
I'm Chad.
and y'all be good people. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Touching tips.
Bye.